Good Friday evening to you. I'm 11 Live weather impact meteorologist Melissa Nord. I hope you have had a wonderful week. It's been a little bit of a cloudy, cold, gray week overall, and we're looking ahead to your weekend forecast. And unfortunately, for a lot of this weekend, the cloud cover, the chilly temperatures, it is still with us. So what you need to know about the weekend is, number one, the cold air not going anywhere. We're going to see afternoon highs remaining chilly, remaining below average, 40s and some 50s, but that is still below our average high for this time of year of 59 degrees. So we're also going to be tracking on Saturday a couple of showers, and I'll show you where I expect some of those to set up shop. And then for Sunday, if you're looking for sunshine, we're not going to have a blue sky day, but first thing in the morning, there will be briefly a moment of brighter skies, and that will be the probably brightest part of the entire weekend. We're going to have to wait until Tuesday of next week to see brighter skies than that. You can see radar and satellite from the last few hours this evening. We've had some rain showers over central and southern Georgia this afternoon. I'll actually take you into I'm going to pull back to our rain totals graphic. So this is going to populate here in a second. Let's see if it'll pull up. So, we had rain totals generally from last night. Remember, the rain was moving in around between 7 and 10 o'clock yesterday evening. We were tracking that live on this live stream at 9 o'clock yesterday evening. But as I query some of these numbers, the totals were generally a third of an inch. Some of us got about a half an inch of rain. And this is, again, it moved in yesterday evening. So this is just 24-hour rainfall. We picked up a little bit before that 24-hour threshold. But this afternoon, where we've seen rain, so to speak, has mostly been across central Georgia and southern Georgia. There's been a few showers that were right around early this evening across some of our southernmost counties, but for the most part, we are cloudy, dry, and still feeling a little bit damp outside at times. There's a stream of moisture that's been working up along the I-10 corridor and up into southeastern Georgia throughout the day today. We saw one good push of that rain earlier. Now we're seeing more showers lifting north from New Orleans. And I just want to show you, between now and the end of the weekend, there's not a whole lot of rain to fall over North Georgia. There's very light accumulations, if any, for many of us. Where I do expect more consistent accumulation, that's going to be from Tallahassee over to Lake City, over to Jacksonville, and then southeastern Georgia, really Brunswick and Point South. Could get some rainfall totals around an inch, and that kind of wet pattern draped across the northern half of the Florida Panhandle, or rather peninsula, kind of cuts off at the Tampa metro area. So here in North Georgia, we don't expect any significant accumulation through the weekend, but I will be tracking some additional showers that will be possible. So I was kind of showing you this radar, zooming out, and you see there's more rain pushing off towards New Orleans, Lower Mississippi. Watch the forecast track as we go through the overnight. A lot of that pivoting into central and southern Georgia, but tomorrow morning it tries to make another run to the north. So it will probably make it to Macon. I'm not sure if we'll have much success in it making it all the way to the I-20 corridor, but we'll be watching that early in the day tomorrow. And then by tomorrow evening and overnight, we're finally going to see a little scouring out of this low-level moisture and cloud cover. It's been a really gray and gloomy couple of days in North Georgia. I think by Saturday night and Sunday morning, we might actually see some hints of clear sky out there. Now, rain chance for Saturday. Here in the metro, it's about a 20% chance. That rain chance goes up to 40% once you go kind of south of Peachtree City and Covington. So places like Monticello, Eatonton, out towards Greensboro and Greene County, even Thomaston, maybe LaGrange. There's going to be some showers that are really close to you, and I think we could potentially see some of them moving in tomorrow morning, especially between 9 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to show you two different weather models to just kind of compare the northern extent of that rain. This is the first model. This is our in-house graph model. So when we're showing you these things on the live streams, the beauty of these live streams on 11 Live Plus, and if you're joining us on YouTube, thank you for joining us on this Friday night, is that there's not a time limit like we have on TV, and there's also a little less rigidity in our conversational style, right? We can be a little more flexible with showing you that what we're looking at behind the scenes. So I'm going to show you a model comparison of our in-house model versus another model. Both of these are higher resolution models. So in the world of weather model land, okay, we have our standard models, which if you ever hear, oh, the American, the European model, those are operational models that don't have as high of a resolution because they go much further out in the future. Now, they each have their own ensemble versions, which are, if you think about kind of, let's see, how can I put this way? You know the spaghetti models that we look at on the National Hurricane Center when we're looking at different hurricanes, and we have the spaghetti models, and they're closely clustered then, and then they get way further out down the line. Well, that's the chaos theory. So when we are talking about ensembles of different models, they are putting in slightly different starting conditions in the atmosphere, and they're running that information slightly differently. So the ensembles have like a different prism that they look through. Each of them looks through it slightly different. So when we look at the ensembles and the American and the GFS model and the Canadian model and all those are not high resolution. High resolution's like you put on a brand new pair of glasses, or you just upgraded your STV to an HD TV. And that's what these models are that I'm showing you. They go anywhere from 12 hours out to 60 or 70 hours out, rather, depending on the model. So with that being said, let's go through the graph model, and that shows you the cloud cover sticking around overnight tonight. And then here's 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The shower's just about to make in. Then they try to lift north, but they're not really fully successful. Then we see the dry air pushing in with northwesterly winds, and it tries to clear those clouds out a bit by the ending of the day tomorrow. It brings in clear skies for some of us north of I-20 Sunday morning, and then very quickly the clouds are building back in Sunday afternoon, and watch the rain. It's coming back Sunday night through Monday morning. Some additional showers working in from the north and west, and even a few more showers into Monday afternoon. So that is our graph model. Now I'm going to show you a different model. This is called the HER model. This is the high resolution rapid refresh model. This one is tried and tested. It's a great model, and this one also shows that rain trying to nudge its way north a little bit on Saturday. So you can see here overnight the clouds are with us. There we go. You saw some hints of green going over the metro, and then for the afternoon, again, that rain finally pushes its way out, and these models are really coming into a better agreement about tomorrow evening, clearing those clouds out a bit, and with that we will start Sunday morning colder down in the mid-30s. Then the clouds make their comeback and thicken up ahead of that chance of some showers. So with all that being said, there's going to be some showers tomorrow by Macon. Those showers will probably not make it to Atlanta. There could be a few sprinkles, but not consistent rain. But to our south, Peachtree City, Covington Point, south of that and east of that, you know, there could be a couple showers that are out there on your Saturday. For tonight, I have been watching cloud cover hanging stubborn and a lot of moisture in the air. And that moisture, if we have light enough winds, can cause fog development, okay? Now, I'm going to show you our relative humidity right now. It's 86% in Atlanta, 100% in Covington, 97% in Athens. With all that being said, the air is saturated. So we have this low cloud deck and some mist developing in some areas, and in other areas, this is going to be a little bit foggy in the overnight. But it may not be widespread everywhere. So that's one of the things that we're looking at. I just want to show you our current temperature in Atlanta. This tower camera is up in the clouds, so we cannot see the skyscrapers of the city skyline. But what you can see is that the dew point's 41, the temperature's 45, northwest winds are still 6 miles an hour. So as long as we have a little light wind on the ground, that prevents the fog from really forming and turning thick. If those winds turn lighter in the overnight, which we do expect them to calm down a little bit, then we can expect more of that fog to form. So I'll show you our graph model through the overnight with the wind gusts, and you see the winds are overall pretty light through the overnight, especially out in East Georgia. The winds are going to be lighter, so we will watch to see if we get some more of that fog development overnight tonight. Regardless, it's going to be cloudy, and it's not really cold outside by December overnight standards, but it has that kind of damp feeling outside where you just kind of feel cold as you step out because there's a dampness in the air. Temperatures tonight going to be in the 30s north and west of Atlanta. We will see some mid-30s in the North Georgia mountains, and then for Atlanta itself will be around 42 degrees. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at some of our tower cameras to check on the fog development. And earlier, right at sunset, we saw these low clouds blocking the tops of the King and Queen building here. This is our Northside Hospital camera, Sandy Springs, top side of the perimeter at Georgia 400. And you can see we don't have fog, we just have a lot of cloud cover there. Let's check out another camera. This camera coming in from Blue Ridge. It looks pretty with all the holiday decorations there, but I'm watching in the background. And in the background, I see the low clouds off in the distance. So in the mountains, especially the better protected valleys that don't have breezy winds at all, the winds can turn very calm in those valleys. And we can often on nights like this see fog developing and becoming quite dense. So I know that you don't see in a lot of these cameras fog itself, but I think as we go through the overnight, there is going to be some of that patchy fog. Now in Rome, that's been a little more protected. That low-lying kind of wedge of cool dampness scoured out northwest Georgia first today, and then it hung around in places like Athens. So you can see at our camera in Rome, which is in Floyd County in northwest Georgia, we're cloudy, but we're dry. And we've got a bit of a light breeze. So in a place like there, I really do not expect us to see any of that fog development. I want to show you a couple of other cameras from across North Georgia. We have a lot of different cameras. I'm going to show you Echo Park Speedway down in Hampton in Henry County. It looks like we have a little bit of fog development there. Now we're also getting blinded by the lights a bit. So it's a bit difficult to see. I will take that camera and spin it around so we have a slightly better vantage point just to see if there is really fog development or if it's just the lights. Those lights are pretty brutal. Also, our lens of our camera, I've been noticing, is slightly dirty right now. It's slightly dirty. Okay, so not as much fog, more low clouds that are out there right now. We will take a look next at our camera on top of Truist Park. They have had the lights on at Truist Park, even though the baseball season has been over. But what you do see there is a little bit of that mistiness and fogginess in the air over Truist Park. Now, that camera is not as dirty as our camera at Echo Park Speedway. I am going to take it and I'm also going to turn it around because when I'm looking at these conditions outside, I want to see it from many different vantage points and camera angles. So it almost looks like misty over there. Oh yeah, we got some foggy, misty stuff. Yes. This is foggy, misty stuff developing over Truist Park. You see, that's just, we're kind of like almost up in the clouds. So it didn't look bad from our camera in Sandy Springs, but here at the Cumberland interchange, okay, on the other side, just like a 10-minute drive west of where the other camera was from Northside Hospital, I'm seeing that low cloud deck and I'm seeing a little bit of fog developing here as we approach 10 o'clock tonight. We're right now 9:14 at night. So we're definitely watching that. I don't think it's a steady rain, but it could be a little bit misty up there as well. I'll take you then to our camera, and then I promise we'll get to the rest of the weekend forecast and kind of recap it for you. But since we have the time, let's check out our camera by Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This is our camera on top of Georgia Tech. It kind of looks a little bit hazy in the background, but we don't see any of that fog right on the ground. I'll also show you our camera in Noonan, and that one also shows the low clouds, but it doesn't show the fog on the ground. So a few of us are seeing it. It's not widespread, and for the overnight, some of that patchy fog could continue all the way through first thing tomorrow morning. And if you do wake up with fog, it's going to slow down the temperature warming trend for tomorrow. When you have fog, you don't get any of that solar radiation down to the ground heating us up. All right, so tonight we're down in the 30s. Tomorrow we have clouds the first half of the day through the mid-afternoon. then we should start to see, especially in far north Georgia, some of that cloud cover thinning out before sunset. But it's still chilly out there. If you're tailgating ahead of the SEC championship game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, well, it's going to be chilly. Temperatures are in the 40s. I feel like it is a good chilly day too. You know, chilly temperatures, clouds around. We do have that slight chance of a shower. But notice there by 5 o'clock tomorrow, some hints of brighter sky moving in. So again, the end of tomorrow through first thing on Sunday morning, we're going to see that cloud cover thinning out. That will allow for more of that heating from the day to escape the atmosphere Saturday night and Sunday morning. So colder Sunday morning than what it will be tomorrow. We'll drop down to 36 in Atlanta, low 30s in those outlying suburbs, and I do expect some sub-freezing or below freezing temperatures up across the North Georgia mountains. Sunday afternoon, as long as we see that first half of the day, some brighter skies, that should get us a better boost on the warming trend. I'm going for a high of 54 on Sunday, and then we generally stay cool to start next week. There are a few more showers building in Sunday night and Monday, which I showed you on the forecast track a few minutes ago. Just know once we get past that, we're going to get a few days of a break here in North Georgia. Are we done with the cold? The answer is no, we are not done with the cold. Models through the next really week and a half show colder than average temperatures. We have a lot more 50s for high temperatures through next weekend and even the following week. It's just going to be difficult with our current prognosis on the atmosphere to flip the jet stream pattern and bring in a big ridge of high pressure and warming trend for us. Instead, I think we have more of these colder air intrusions keeping us slightly cooler than normal, not really freezing cold, just a little chillier than normal. We got spoiled mid-November up until Thanksgiving. We had so many 70s and record temperatures up to 80 degrees. This month, Mother Nature's saying, hold on, we got to even out the atmosphere. So chilly temperatures has been the way that it's been going, and it's probably going to go for the next week or so. 7-day forecast you see tomorrow, the cloud cover, that slight chance of some showers, mainly south of Atlanta. For Sunday, we'll actually start with some sunshine first thing in the day, bring in some clouds by the end of the afternoon. Clouds will thicken up Sunday evening. We're tracking some of those rain showers overnight into early on Monday. Monday's high 52, bringing back sunshine by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There is one more front coming in Wednesday evening that looks to come through dry at this point, so that will not bring us a substantial chance for rain. Friday night, another front comes in with a 30% chance of some showers. Right now, some of our models have us a lot wetter on Friday than others. I consider it day 7, and I err on the side of being a little conservative on those rain chances. So 30% chance as of right now for rain showers to come back in next Friday. Have a great evening. We'll be back with you on 11 Alive News at 11 p.m. on 11 Alive Plus and 11 Alive on TV as well. And then coming up this weekend, tomorrow morning from 8:30 to 10, meteorologist Nicole Hartford is back. We're so happy to have her back after her maternity leave. She will see you with an updated look at who could see some of those showers over the weekend.